Welcome to Somewhat Awesome Films. I am Rob, and I'm going to tell you a story today. After we clear out this car here, guy just ran over my car. What a jerk. Should I shoot them? No, they'll shoot me. Let's blow them up. That didn't stick too well, but it's good enough. So let's get away. Push the detonator. Kablam. That's what you get for scratching my car, assholes. Anyway, we're going to go for a little drive together. How exciting. You're going to be my passenger, and I'm going to drive you around the island of Far Cry 3 and tell you a story. A story about how I met Gandalf himself, Sir Ian McKellen. Now this story is not a long one. Could be an interesting one if you're a big fan of Ian McKellen, or just have nothing to do today. Like, I'm assuming you don't have anything to do today since you're watching this video of me about to tell you a story about how I met Ian McKellen. That could be interesting or it could be crap. Either way, we're going to go for a drive around the island. I was a bit paranoid, I heard a car coming, but it's okay. Let's hop in, let's go for a cruise. So, Ian McKellen, this would have been about right before they started filming The Hobbit. It was like the year before they filmed The Hobbit, so I don't know what year that was. I can't remember what year it was. That's pretty bad. Must have been 2010. Yeah, it would have been 2010, early 2010, I reckon. Anyway, he was here in Australia doing a play called Waiting for Godot. Now, I didn't know this, and I'm probably getting ahead of myself, so let's start with what I was doing. So I was studying, and I had an assignment where I had to film a statue and make it interesting. And for anyone who has ever used a camera and filmed a statue before, I'm guessing there is 0% of you who have done that. It's quite boring, so to make it interesting is quite a challenge. But Jared and I set out to go film a statue. This was my assignment I had to do. So I said to Jared, "Hey, bring the camera. We'll go to town. We'll go film these statues I have to film, and then we'll just waste the day." So he was like, "Yep, sure, why not?" Grabs the camera, comes with me to the city. We start filming these statues. We walk there, start filming these statues. So boring. We just set it up on a tripod. We really had no intention to make it interesting. We kind of just assumed editing would fix that later. But then, at a certain point during the day, we stopped giving a shit about the assignment. Which is, the same time these hobos came up to us. At least we thought they were hobos. We were filming this statue of this lady with books. The most boring statue. I'm sure she had a great thing to do with books. Probably built the library here in the city, or something like that. But anyway, we're filming this statue. This lady has books. And then, got the camera on the tripod. We're just standing there. People are walking past looking at us weird, like, how would you want to film a statue? Like, why would you want to do that? So, anyway, out of the corner of our eye, we see these two hobo-looking guys approaching, and we're thinking, shit, these guys are probably coming to flog our camera or start something, because it's the city. Everyone's a fucking weirdo in the city. So these two guys kind of shamble, like you can see in the corner of their eye that they're beelining towards us. They're not wandering, they're not going somewhere else. They're making a beeline directly towards us, and one of them is a huge guy. Massive. He must have been 6'4", but also, like, he was fat, so he was, like, huge. He was like a goddamn T-Rex or something. Can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was a hobo, so why would I know that? So these two hobos get closer, and Jared and I kind of squish into the camera and start looking through the lens and stuff, pretending like to take no notice of them. We know they're coming to talk to us, or do something, or steal the camera, so we're getting in close, keeping the camera safe, and the waft of beer breath enters the area, and it's just like, yep, these guys are hobos. They've just come from the pub. It's like 10 in the morning, maybe like 11, and we're just thinking, man, anyone who is pretty much pissed by this time of day, they've obviously not got much ambition in life, and they have nothing to do today, so they're probably going to cause shit. So they come to us, and they start talking, going, what are you doing? And we're like, we're just filming a statue. Still staring at the statue, making no eye contact because they're hobos and we don't want to really get into anything because we're doing a job and we have a time limit. We have to finish filming and then go meet my girlfriend, who is now fiance, and she was gonna drive us home. So we had to get to her, and so we had to get this assignment done as quickly as possible because we had like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so before we had to get there. And these hobos come like right as we're finishing up, so we're thinking, ah, crap, these beer breath hobos are gonna harass us. And they start talking to us. What are you doing? It's like, film a statue. Who is it? What do you mean, who is it? It's a statue. It's not a real person anymore, at least. They're like, you don't know what you're filming? I'm like, yeah, I just told you, we filmed a statue. He's like, oh, you should really research what you film. And we're like, what? Why would a hobo just like actually care about what we're actually doing if they're coming to cause trouble? So we start taking a bit of interest in them, and I start talking to this giant fellow. Jared gets pawned off to the other guy. I'm talking to this giant guy. I have no idea who he is, and he's telling me about statues. Like, oh, because he turns out to be an actor. He's like, oh, I'm an actor, and when we do a role, we usually research what we're doing. And I'm like, oh, this is just a study assignment that I have to do. It's nothing really interesting. We have to make these statues interesting, and it's not something I really want to do or have any plans in the future to do. So I'm kind of just doing it for the sake of doing it. And he's like, no, you should go to the library, research what you're doing, then you can get a better feel of how to make it more interesting. I'm like, alright, that's a fair call. If I cared about the assignment, I would probably do that. Like, if it was my job and I was getting paid to do this, I would probably research more in depth. And he's like, yeah, cool. And I'm like, so you're an actor. You're clearly not from around here because you have an accent. What are you doing here? He goes, oh, I'm in a play, Waiting for Godot. I'm like, cool. I've heard of the play, but I've not seen it publicized or anything like that. He goes, oh, really? That's surprising because I'm just doing it here with Ian McKellen. And I'm like, Ian McKellen? What? Like Magneto? Like Gandalf? What are you talking about? He goes, yeah, like Ian McKellen just there. Now I look over to see who Jared's talking to. And Jared's kind of talking to this guy, thinking, I know who this guy is, but I can't pinpoint who exactly he is. Because you don't expect this person to be in our city, especially during the day when your day is kind of like, oh, this day is going to suck. I have to film a statue. So it's kind of, this is a bit of a surprise. He starts mentioning Ian McKellen. I'm like, wait. I look at this old guy next to him, talking to Jared. I'm thinking, holy shit, that's Ian McKellen, isn't it? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, man, you're killing me. That Ian McKellen, I thought was a hobo, and he's just come up to me in the street in my city where he should never be, and is talking to us. I'm thinking, holy crap, this is the weirdest assignment I've ever had to do. I did not expect to be talking to Ian McKellen today, let alone his buddy here. I'm talking to his buddy a bit more, and I go to Jared. I'm like, you know who you're talking to? He's like, yeah, I'm talking about Ian McKellen. We're like, what the shit? This is nuts. So we have a chat to Ian McKellen, and they talk about their play and stuff, and they're saying, oh, we're in Waiting for Godot. And then Jared says, oh, can we get a picture with you? And then the big guy goes, well, a better idea would be come to our play tomorrow, and we'll hang out afterwards. So we're thinking, well, fuck, why not? Like, let's do it. So they wander off. We agree we'll meet them after their play and stuff. They wander away. Meanwhile, Jared and I kind of like, fuck this assignment. Like, who gives a shit? Let's just watch Ian McKellen walk away. And it was the weirdest thing to see, like, these two hobo-looking people. Funny enough, he plays a hobo in Waiting for Godot, so maybe he was in costume or something. I don't know. I doubt it. But him and his mate are wandering off down the street to go to the library and get some books out or something, or just because they like libraries. I don't know. But they're wandering down the street, and there's just hundreds of people passing them, and not one person stops and realizes that Sir Ian McKellen is walking past them. And it's a weird thing to see, because you think, like, surely someone out of all these people would look at his face and recognize him. See, it wasn't until we looked at him that we were like, holy shit, that's Ian McKellen. So I guess everyone just assumed, oh, there's some hobos wandering away, arm in arm, to the, like, they smell like beer, so, like, maybe they give them a wide berth or something. But it was just so weird to see all these people. They will never know that they have actually been like within a foot of Ian McKellen. So that was a weird thing. But anyway, we go to the play the next day, and we watched the play. It was quite good. Very talented man. And then afterwards, we go down the back. We just see this sea of people at the side door waiting with autograph books and all sorts of memorabilia for him to sign. And Jared goes up to the door, gives it a knock. Some bouncer comes out, kind of looks at us, and we're just like, oh, it's just Rob and Jared. And he's like, oh, yep, cool, come in. So we head in, go down to Ian McKellen's dressing room. Then he comes out, the old man comes out in his robe. It's just like, then we just sit there, stand there, have a chat to him for ages. It was great. It was really exciting. It's one of the coolest things I've ever had to ever done. Just standing there, having a conversation with Ian McKellen about literally nothing, like just chit chat. And then of course his buddy comes along, and we just spend the day chatting it out. Because this was the morning session, and they had a play afterwards. But yeah, that's the time I Bilbo Baggins'd it. An old man who I thought was a hobo come up to me in the street and harassed me, and then took me on an adventure to Conversation Land the next day. It was quite cool. So yeah, that's how I met Gandalf, and I don't think I'll top that one. If I do, expect a Far Cry 4 driving video where I drive you around and tell you about the time I met Jesus.